5 people you should never be kind to in old age if you want to protect your peace and happiness. Hey there, my friends. Welcome back to the channel, where we talk about living your best life, staying healthy, and finding joy in your golden years. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something a little different, but oh so important. Today's topic is all about protecting your peace and happiness as you age. Specifically, we're going to talk about 5 people you should never be kind to in old age if you want to protect your peace and happiness. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kindness is everything, right? We've been taught to be kind, to give people the benefit of the doubt, and to spread love wherever we go. And trust me, I'm all about that. But here's the thing. As we get older, our energy, time, and emotional bandwidth become even more precious. We've worked hard to build a life of meaning, and we deserve to surround ourselves with people who lift us up, not drag us down. Sometimes, being kind to the wrong people can actually harm our well-being. This isn't about being cold or selfish. It's about setting boundaries to protect your heart, your mind, and your joy. I've seen too many folks in their 50s, 60s, and beyond let certain types of people steal their peace. And I don't want that for you. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's talk about the 5 types of people you need to stop being overly kind to, and how to do it in a way that feels right for you. Ready? Let's dive in. 1. The chronic complainer. First up, let's talk about the chronic complainer. You know who I'm talking about. That person who always has something to grumble about. The weather's too cold. Their neighbor's too loud. Their coffee's too weak. No matter what's going on, they find a way to make it negative. Now, we all have bad days, and venting can be healthy. But chronic complainers? They're on a whole other level. They don't just vent. They live in a state of negativity, and they want to pull you into it. I had a friend, let's call her Susan, who dealt with this. Susan was in her early 60s, retired, and finally enjoying her hobbies like gardening and painting. But her neighbor, Linda, was a chronic complainer. Every time Susan saw her, Linda would go on and on about her aches, her bills, or how the world was going downhill. At first, Susan listened patiently, offering kind words and advice. But after months of this, Susan noticed she felt drained every time she saw Linda. Her joy for gardening faded because she dreaded running into her neighbor. Here's the deal. Chronic complainers thrive on attention. When you're kind and listen endlessly, you're giving them exactly what they want, but it comes at a cost to your peace. Their negativity can rub off on you, making you feel heavier, more anxious, or even hopeless. And in your golden years, you don't have time for that. What to do instead? Set firm boundaries. You don't have to be rude, but you can limit how much energy you give them. Try saying something like, I hear you, but I'm trying to focus on the positive today. Then, gently steer the conversation elsewhere or excuse yourself. If they keep pushing, it's okay to spend less time with them. Your happiness matters, and you're not their therapist. 2. The energy vampire. Next, let's talk about the energy vampire. This person might not complain all the time, but they have a way of sucking the life out of you. They're needy, dramatic, or always in some kind of crisis. They call you at all hours, expect you to drop everything to help them, and never seem to notice how much they're taking from you. I'll share a story about my uncle, Tom. He's 68, loves his morning walks, and has a great group of buddies he plays cards with. But a few years ago, he reconnected with an old co-worker, Mike. Mike was always in a mess. His car broke down, his girlfriend left, his boss was unfair. Tom, being the kind guy he is, kept jumping in to help. He'd drive Mike to appointments, lend him money, and spend hours listening to his problems. But Tom started feeling exhausted. His walks became less frequent, and he even skipped his card games because he was so drained. Energy vampires don't always mean to hurt you, but their constant neediness can leave you depleted. As we age, we need to conserve our energy for the things that light us up, whether it's spending time with grandkids, pursuing a hobby, or just relaxing with a good book. What to do instead? Be clear about what you can and can't offer. For example, you might say, I can talk for 10 minutes, but then I've got to get to my yoga class. Or, if they're asking for too much, it's okay to say, I'm not in a place to help with that, but I hope you find a solution. Protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. 3. The manipulator. Number 3 is the manipulator. This one's tricky because manipulators are often charming and subtle. They know how to pull your heartstrings or make you feel guilty if you don't do what they want. They might say things like, "After all I've done for you, you can't help me out?" Or, "I guess I'll just handle it alone," like always. Their goal? To control you through your kindness. I saw this with a client of mine, Margaret, who's 72. She's a sweetheart, always volunteering at her church and helping her community. But her adult daughter, Karen, was a manipulator. Karen would guilt Margaret into babysitting her kids for days at a time, even when Margaret was exhausted or had plans. If Margaret said no, Karen would give her the silent treatment or make snide comments about how Mom doesn't care about her grandkids. Margaret felt trapped. She wanted to be a good mom, but Karen's manipulation was stealing her peace. Manipulators prey on your desire to be kind, but their behavior is toxic. Over time, they can erode your self-esteem and make you feel like you're never doing enough. That's not what your golden years are about. What to do instead? Stand firm in your boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable. Practice saying, "I love you, but I can't take that on right now." If they push back, don't engage in arguments. Just repeat your stance calmly. It's also okay to distance yourself if the manipulation continues. You deserve relationships that feel mutual, not one-sided. 4. The gossip. Moving on to number 4, the gossip. We all know someone who loves to stir the pot, spreading rumors or talking behind people's backs. They might frame it as just sharing or keeping you in the loop, but their words are often hurtful and divisive. And here's the thing. Gossips don't just talk about others. They're likely talking about you when you're not around. I remember a woman named Diane, who was part of a book club in her 60s. The group was great, except for one member, Carol, who was a gossip. Carol would share juicy tidbits about other members, like who was getting divorced or who was struggling financially. At first, Diane thought it was harmless, and she'd listen politely. But then she noticed the group dynamic shifting. Trust faded, and Diane started worrying about what Carol might be saying about her. The book club, which was supposed to be a fun escape, became a source of stress. Gossips thrive on attention and drama, but their behavior can make you feel uneasy and unsafe. In your golden years, you want relationships built on trust and respect, not whispers and secrets. What to do instead? Shut down gossip kindly but firmly. You can say, "I'd rather not talk about that. Let's focus on something positive." Or redirect the conversation to a neutral topic like a book or a movie. If the gossip continues, consider spending less time with that person. Surround yourself with people who build others up, not tear them down. 5. The ungrateful taker. Finally, let's talk about the ungrateful taker. This is someone who takes your kindness for granted and never shows appreciation. You might help them out, listen to their problems, or go out of your way for them, but they act like it's no big deal, or worse, like they're entitled to it. Over time, their lack of gratitude can make you feel used and unvalued. I had a neighbor, Jim, who dealt with this. Jim was 65, loved fixing things, and was always happy to lend a hand. His cousin, Dave, would constantly ask for favors, borrowing tools, getting help with his car, you name it. Jim didn't mind at first, but Dave never said thank you or offered anything in return. One day, Jim spent an entire afternoon fixing Dave's lawnmower, and Dave just said, "Cool, see you later." Jim felt invisible and it hurt. Your kindness is a gift, and you deserve to be appreciated. Ungrateful takers can chip away at your self-worth, making you question why you bother helping at all. That's not the vibe we want in our golden years. What to do instead? Stop offering your time and energy to people who don't value it. If you want to address it, you can say, "I'm happy to help, but it'd mean a lot to hear a thank you." If they don't change, scale back your efforts. Focus on relationships where your kindness is reciprocated and celebrated. Why this matters. Now, you might be wondering, why is this such a big deal? I've always been kind. It's who I am. And I hear you. Kindness is a beautiful thing. But here's the truth. Your golden years are a time to prioritize you. You've spent decades taking care of others, your kids, your career, your community. Now, It's your turn to protect your peace, your joy, and your energy. Being overly kind to the wrong people can lead to stress, resentment, and even burnout. Studies show that chronic stress can harm your health, raising your blood pressure and weakening your immune system. On the flip side, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people can boost your mood, lower stress, and even help you live longer. So, setting boundaries isn't just about feeling good. It's about staying healthy and thriving. All right, my friends, let's wrap this up. Today, we talk about 5 types of people you should stop being overly kind to if you want to protect your peace and happiness in your golden years. The chronic complainer, the energy vampire, the manipulator, the gossip, and the ungrateful taker. Each of these people can drain your energy and steal your joy if you let them, but you have the power to set boundaries and choose who gets your time and kindness. I want you to remember this. Your golden years are yours to cherish. You've earned the right to surround yourself with people who make you laugh, lift you up, and respect your boundaries. It's not about cutting people out or being unkind. It's about being selective with your energy so you can live a life full of joy, health, and meaning. So, here's your challenge. Think about one person in your life who fits one of these categories. What's one small step you can take to set a boundary with them? Maybe it's saying no to a request, redirecting a conversation, or simply spending less time together. Start small and watch how it frees up space for more happiness. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living your best life in your golden years. Drop a comment below. Tell me about a time you set a boundary and how it felt. I read every single one, and I love hearing from you. Until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep protecting your peace. See you soon.